Foremost, giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful luck. I found this article over the weekend. I want to do a video on it. So it says at the top, it says, this is from CNBC. Says these charts show how much it costs to charge an EV, which an EV is an electrical vehicle, versus refueling a gas vehicle. Excuse me. Yeah, I just want to focus on, we always bring out the word Poieo when you read it in Revelation, the 13th chapter, which I have it right here. Of course. Oh, blew that would be acting stupid now. Yeah, give me a moment. When we look up that word causet, in the Greek it's Poieo. Which means to make, to form, fashion, to make ready, to prepare, right? And we know that this system that they're trying to in place now is going to be, things are going to be digital. And isn't it very convenient that how with this, and they're going to, when I read the article, it's going to mention that this war between Russia and Ukraine, how they're making it seem as, oh, this, this is a good time to invest or to get into, showing the benefits of getting an EV, which is an electrical vehicle. They're using this whole thing between Russia and Ukraine to show, hey, it's a good time to get into an electrical vehicle. So let's just get into the article, and the article will explain it. I'm going to read these two first bullet points right here. It says, while gas prices have soared in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, so have electricity prices, particularly in some parts of the U.S. that have been big markets for Tesla's EVs. Now, we know Tesla is owned by Elon Musk. So the second bullet point, so it is true that it's much cheaper to refuel an EV, which is an electrical vehicle. CNBC crunched the numbers. So like it says, like I was getting into Poieo, they're forming, they're fashioning to make ready. And like I said earlier, this whole system is getting ready to be digital. So isn't it so convenient that with this war between Russia and Ukraine, that now electric vehicles seem to be very convenient? Hey, don't worry about, we know that inflation and the gas prices are rising up. Well, there's a solution, which Elon Musk has been, working on this solution for years, because that's his whole thing. He's actually been working on electrical vehicles for years before this whole Russian-Ukraine thing happened, before the inflation. And now you have a rising gas price. So isn't it so convenient that, oh, hey, look at the benefits that, Elon Musk could say, look at you see, I knew this was going to happen. This is why I invested in working on electrical vehicles, because I knew something like this would happen, that this would be needed at some point in the future. It says, it has been true for years, mile for mile. It's cheaper, generally much cheaper, to recharge an electric vehicle than it is to refuel one with an internal combustion engine. That has been a key selling point for Tesla and other EV, which is electrical vehicle makers, particularly in times when gas prices have soared, such as now. See? So Elon Musk, like I said earlier, look, I've been seeing this, and other people who are in the electric vehicle market. Look, we've seen this. We knew that this was going to happen. This is why this is better. And what's also going to be tied to these electrical vehicles, that subdermal object that they want to put into people, that's written about in Revelation 13 and the 16th verse. And Lord's when I could explain my point very clearly, that this isn't by chance that, this is happening with the Russian-Ukraine thing, and now electric vehicles seem to be better than getting into, where you had to use gas vehicles. And what's also going to be, because that subdermal object that they want to use is not just going to be used for, your medical information, social security, whatever that's going to have on it. It's going to be also tied to your car. Isn't that so convenient and so nifty and neat that, hey, you don't even have to, if someone tries to steal your car or whatever, you could just, all the information is on that subdermal object, We can find your car for you. Your car is pretty much tied to you. It's not like it was gas before where it's like, oh, if somebody takes it, breaks into it and runs off with it. Or maybe, you swipe your hand around your car and that's when it'll turn on so you don't even have to worry about anybody running off with it and taking it. Your car is you. You are your car. You're one and the same. Kind of like what it tells you in Ezekiel, the first chapter, if I'm not mistaken, with when Ezekiel got the vision of the angels with the chariots, how the chariot, whatever the angel or wherever the angels went, the chariots followed along with them. So it's like kind of the same with you and your car. You and your car are one the same. So nobody's gonna be able to steal your car because it's electric now, right? And that subdermal object is going to be implanted in people. So you and your car are one and the same now. Wherever you go, your car goes. So if someone's trying to steal your car ain't gonna move, or it might alert you, wake you up out of your sleep through the subdermal object and say, "Hey, somebody's trying to steal me. Come and come over here." And then you see the person trying to rob you, say, "Hey, get out of here," and all that. Just giving an example. So I'll just read it again. It says, it has been true for years, mile for mile. It's cheaper, generally much cheaper, to recharge an electric vehicle than it is to refuel one with an internal combustion engine. That's where you put the tube in, you put your gas as opposed to, however, an electric vehicle. I'm going to guess it's probably a tube, maybe not a tube, but maybe some type of plug-in. That has been a key selling point for Tesla, which Tesla, like I said earlier, is owned by Elon Musk, which Elon Musk is the same guy that he has that subdermal object that he put within the monkey and that the monkey was able to play ping pong. And then before this year started, it came out that he wanted to put subdermal objects, tested in human beings. So again, very funny how all this is, happening within this year as well. How this is being seen as a benefit with the inflation of gas prices raising up. Hey, get into the electric vehicles. That has been a key selling point for Tesla and other electric vehicle makers, particularly in times when gas prices have soared, such as now. But this time there's a wrinkle. While gas prices have indeed soared in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, so have electricity prices, particularly in some parts of the U.S. that have been big markets for Tesla's EVs. That raises a question. Is it still true that it's much cheaper to refuel an electric vehicle? The charts below, which show how much the cost to add 100 miles of range to an average electric vehicle or an internal combustion vehicle has changed in different markets over time, help us find the answer. The first chart using nationwide figures provides a baseline. The others use data specific to Boston and San Francisco, two markets where electric vehicles are popular and where electricity tends to be more expensive than the national average. So as you can see, this is the first chart right here. The blue line is the gas, and as you can see, around 2019 to 2020, it was, I guess, it was kind of average. Then somewhere between 2020 and 2021, you can see that dip. And then from a certain point of 21 to 2022, which we have now, as you can see, it went up. But as you can see, the orange, which is the electric vehicle, that's been a steady line for the most part, showing you that it's better to invest through this graph that they have. It's better to invest in an electric vehicle as opposed to a gas vehicle. Because you can see from 2019 to 2020, it's just only went up. It has a little dip, but now it's gone up. And it's inconvenient with the whole Russia-Ukraine thing that, again, they keep blaming Russia, saying, oh, Russia's invasion of Ukraine and all that. And as you can see, the electric is pretty much a steady line. The same thing with Boston gas and electric averages. As you can see, the blue line goes up at a certain point. The electric, as it has its dips, it's still, and it has a little raise, it's still for the most part a lot better than the blue line. And the same for San Francisco. It's still, the blue has a little devil horns, dips, then goes back up. The orange line, which is electricity, for the most part is a steady stream, although it's going slightly up. Still a lot better, obviously, than the blue line. So if you're reading this, you would think, well, then I should invest in an electric vehicle. That's a lot better. So you see how, like they say, problem, reaction, brothers always bring out the example, problem, reaction, solution. You have a problem, inflation. You see the people have a reaction. You know, people are going crazy over the gas prices. You know, people are doing YouTube videos over the gas prices. Oh, this is too crazy, this and that. And what? There's a solution that Elon Musk has just been, you know, he just had this in the works for years before this even happened. He could come out and say, "Oh, I see. Like I said, I always knew this was going to come happen years ago." But this is what these elites do with their think tanks and things like that. They cause the problem, the people have a reaction, and then they bring out the solution. But they do these things years in advance before these things even come out. You know, they plan these things years in advance before they happen. So that when it happens, hey, we already had the solution. We had a guy coming up with it, but you don't know that this guy is in the works with the elites. But the common people don't know that. So it says, continuing with the article, it says the answer is in all three cases is Slakia. The answer in all three cases is that even with regional surges in the price of electricity, it's still quite a bit more expensive to fill your gas tank than it is to charge your electric vehicle's battery. So it would be if you're seeing this, as you're seeing the gas prices soar and soar, and they will continue to soar as things get worse and worse. It would You would think, well, it would be better to invest in an electric vehicle. And like I said, what do you think is going to be tied to that electric vehicle? The subdermal object that they Revelation 13 and 16 talks about, that I gave an example earlier. That thing, they could just tie you and your car together through that subdermal object. So that way you can see that as a benefit. Not only is it cheaper to invest in an electric vehicle, but now this subdermal object and my car that is tied together. So if anybody tries to rob it, they can't rob it, because if they try to rob it, they don't have the whatever the implantable object may have. It may have your code for your car, so when you swipe your hand around it, it opens for you, it activates for you, turns on for you. Whereas somebody else, it won't activate or turn on for them, no matter if they try to hotwire the car and things like that. So that's something that they could, implant the subdermal object to benefit with these electric vehicles as opposed to a gas vehicle. Says electricity rates have roughly kept pace with gas prices increases in Boston. We'll skip that one. Some of this kind of just goes into gibberish, but I think there was one part. I think it was this one. It says using February data, Jeffries analysis David Kelly recently calculated that the total lifetime cost of ownership of an electric vehicle is about 4,700 less than that of an internal combustion vehicle, which is a gas vehicle. He said that cost differences is likely to increase as more electric vehicles come to market and as battery prices continue to fall over the next couple of years. So this article is about a benefit of investing into, an electric vehicle. And like I brought out earlier with the word Poieo, Poieo is about what? Forming, fashion, constructing to make ready. So they're getting people ready in all forms of life for this subdermal object. And I brought that out where the subdermal object could be tied to your car, because it's gonna not only be it's not only gonna be tied to your medical records, because you're gonna need a car to travel to go to work. So why don't you, one of the benefits of that, Revelation 13 and 16 tied into a car as well? Especially men love cars, right? Now, I'm personally not a car person, but I know certain brothers and certain men, especially, their car is like a freaking chariot. Like in the kingdom, when we have chariots, we're gonna be like, this is amazing. Well, that's how men on this side look at it. The car is like this is my baby right here, whether it be a Lamborghini, whatever type of cars. Like I said, I'm not into cars, but their car is like their woman. So, or certain men look at their car as a woman. So it would be a smart thing for them to tie this the Revelation 13:16 subdermal object into the car as well. And as you have right now with the Russia and Ukraine incident, well, especially with the minds of the people blaming Putin for all this, they could also blame Putin for the rising gas prices. And then what? Well, hey, Putin's being an idiot over there. The news likes to make him seem like an idiot and he's the bad guy right now. Hey, well, even though Putin's being a bad guy, we have a solution for you. Here's, Elon Musk has been working on this electric vehicles for a while now. The benefits of it, since the gas prices are rising, why don't you just invest in an electric vehicle, right? It's a lot cheaper. You can get more bang for your buck, right? And you don't have to worry about the rising gas prices, right? And then Putin doesn't affect you. And then, hey, years later, hey, we come out with the subdermal object. You ain't got to worry about your car being stolen. Your car is now you. You are your car and your car is you. So if someone tries to steal your car, they can't. They don't have the code or whatever, or they don't have your, CHIP that's in you to open your car, activate it or whatever. And they can't hotwire it. So why not? Just benefits of the CHIP that they're going to come out with, just to throw things to your mind to show you how they're going to make this thing seem like a benefit. Because there's going to be problems and you have to have a solution, right? You have to make this thing seem like like this is going to answer all my problems. Otherwise, what's the point? If there's no problem, what's the point of bringing this thing out? So you have to have problems and now offer a solution to where it's like, this is a benefit to my life. This is an asset. They have to make it seem as though putting this subdermal object inside of you is an asset to your life. Just like with the Icky Vicky that's out there, when it first came out, people didn't see it as a benefit. Not initially, not all people, but most people or some people saw it as an asset to their life because, hey, I need to still work. I need to take care of my family, and I want to live. So taking that thing was seen as an asset to their life. And just going over the word one more time, when you see it in English, it would be cause it, but in the Greek, it's poieo. And it says to form, fashion, to be the authors of, the cause, to make ready, to prepare. Right? It says also to lead him out, to lead you into something. So where are they leading you? Like brothers say, all roads lead to the CHIP. So, right, one of the definitions is to carry out, to execute. Yeah, they have a plan, they want to execute it. So problem, reaction, solution. But yeah, that's all I want to bring out on this article. Lord's willing, I'll be able to put the article in the description box. I pray that this video is edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak, Kodash, Shalom.